Oh shit. You're in!
Wow.
Good.
Wow.
Why are the 3 players?
Wow.
Come with me.
This is Untitled Chapter 2015. I'm your host, Cookie Masterson. And hey, kidding, there will be farts and stuff. I'm flattered you 4 decided to play our little game, but really, get a life. You all take care of those screws now. If you think an opponent doesn't know the answer, hit your screw button and you'll force them to answer immediately. If they miss it, you win big. And the wrong answer of the game is brought to you by the
Okay, we're on.
Okay. This is Untitled Chapter 2015. I'm your host, Cookie Masterson. And hey, wipe that smile off your face. This is serious. Okay, just kidding. You win extra cash. And today's wrong answer of the game is being brought to you by
the San Francisco Honor Choir. Free concerts.
Full. Let's analyze one of Kim Kardashian's body parts. About what percentage of Kim Kardashian's brain is just made up of water? 10%, 40%, 80%, or 100%? Player 3. Players 2 and 4. What are you implying exactly? Player 1. Kim Kardashian's brain, and everybody else's brain for that matter, is made up of about 80% water. But that other 20% is just so rounded. Is alright. So, you know how they called Matthew McConaughey's resurgence as an actor his McConaissance? Well, if Matthew McConaughey is currently experiencing a McConaissance, then what period of his life just ended? The McCona Dark Ages, the McCona Industrial Age, the McCona Middle Ages, or the McCona Enlightenment Age? Time's a-wasting. Player 1. Congratulations, not. Players 2 and 4. Get out of here! Seriously, get out of here. Player 3. The Renaissance first occurred in Italy in the late 14th century, immediately following the Middle Ages. So the McConaissance would follow the McCona Middle Ages. Which is funny because most Renaissance sculptures also need to put on a damn shirt. Arrange these Sesame Street characters in order of fewest to most eyebrows. Bert, Ernie, the Count. Ernie, Bert, the Count, Bert, Ernie, the Count, Bert, Ernie, or Ernie, the Count, Bert. Players 3 and 4. Player 2. Good effort. Player 1. Ernie has no eyebrows at all, Bert has one long single eyebrow, and the Count has 2 eyebrows! You just picked up an extra $1,000 for that. Say the cast of Duck Dynasty attends a performance of Swan Lake and thinks there are real waterfowl on stage. In their confusion, which character would they most likely shoot? Siegfried, Benno, Von Rothbart, or Odette? Player 2. Players 1, 3, and 4. Odette is a princess who has been turned into a swan, so the Duck Dynasty crew would probably fill her full of lead. Especially if they find out she once fooled around with a lady swan in college. Feed in a mop bucket. Broke his leg falling from a fire escape. Arrested for falsely reporting a fire. Egged a house. Got high on ether. Fed a bugle to an ostrich. Went to a... Forget Quiet, George. I'm curious how someone could do this badly. Bucker up for Dumber and Dumbererer 2. So there's Dumb and Dumber, and then there was Dumb and Dumberer, and then if another remake of The Odd Couple used the superlative adjective, it would be called the blank couple. It's the dumberest answer I ever heard. Players 1 and 3. Odd is the adjective, odder is the comparative adjective, and oddest is the superlative adjective. But of course, everyone who made the original Odd Couple movies is dead, which means it's the perfect time for Rob Schneider to swoop in and revitalize the franchise. Player 2? No, but speaking of otter, get it? You just won! The greatest hits of the San Francisco Otter Choir. Hailed as one of the top 3 otter choirs in the world, the San Francisco Otter Choir will astound you with their covers of Little Red Corvette and The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. This wrong answer of the game is worth $8,000 for you. Nice job. Take a stab at Let It Go, Let It Go, Let It Go. At which temperature would Olaf from the movie Frozen melt and die? 30 degrees Kelvin. Be short. Player 1. Player 3. Sucks to be you. Players 2 and 4. 30 degrees is below freezing in Fahrenheit and insanely below freezing in Kelvin and Rankine. But it's pretty balmy in Celsius, about the equivalent of 86 degrees Fahrenheit. And I know, blah blah blah, he can magically be saved, but I'm talking about what would happen in the real world to a talking snowman.
Follow me down to the sea.
And now, Kangaroo, Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus?
Kangaroo, Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus.
First spotted in 1879. Kangaroo, Peanuts, Albert Einstein, or Uranus? Nuh-uh. Players 1 and 2? That answer has a hole in it. Ready for this? Albert Einstein was first spotted in 1879, the year he was born. Probably by a midwife or something, over a century after Uranus was discovered and even longer after kangaroos and peanuts. I've heard baby Einstein cried a lot because he left behind Rieslings. Hello? Player 1. Players 2, 3, and 4. This isn't going to go with dinner at all. Next time, try this. Chardonnays, Pinot Blancs, and Rieslings are all white-skinned grapes, but the Malbec grape is red. Although to a connoisseur like myself, Malbec is very offensive. Oh yes, I do say that was quite a burn. This one's known as I wanna lick and roll all night. Did he stick it when he kissed her? About 5 inches deep, about 10 inches deep, about 20 inches deep, or about 30 inches deep? Players 1 and 3.
Swing and a miss.
Players 2 and 4. An adult giraffe's tongue is on average about 18 to 20 inches long. So that's about how deep into a woman's mouth a giraffe-tongued Gene Simmons could stick it. And if Gene Simmons' neck grew to the length of an adult giraffe's, he may not even need women anymore. Brace yourself for the attack. Player 2 has it!
We are good to go.
Cookie, we found your pants.
Well, hello! To start it, you can force another player to answer immediately by hitting your screw button. If they miss it, you win extra bonus dollars. And your wrong answer of the game is being... Hang on tight, we're in for a ride. Let's begin with... Eat, Pray, Die. Which of these Julia Roberts characters would Jack the Ripper have been most likely to savagely murder? Erin Brockovich, Vivian Ward, Tess Ocean, or Liz Gilbert? Player 2. Players 1 and 3. Player 4. Vivian Ward is the name of the prostitute Julia Roberts plays in Pretty Woman, and almost all of serial killer Jack the Ripper's alleged victims were female prostitutes, so he'd probably have just loved to murder her. I can see it now. He'd open the box with his knife in it, she'd reach in and he'd playfully shut it, snapping her fingers. She'd laugh, he'd laugh, then he'd kill her. Time's almost up. Player 2. This is gonna hurt. Players 3 and 4. Can't do anything right, can you? Player 1. A straw man argument purposefully misrepresents an opponent's position in order to strike it down. Here's how I would debate the Wicked Witch. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the two candidates you see here tonight is a Wicked Witch. Thank you, I yield the rest of my time.
Dance with me, disco queen.
Here's one for you. Getting naughty. And this dis or dat leg's being tied up. Player 3. You need the most help, so this dis or dat is just for you. I'm gonna read off 7 names, and for each one, you tell me if it's the name of a necktie knot or the name of a sex position recommended by Women's Health magazine. If it's a necktie knot, press the X button. If it's a sex position, press the B button. Now, the rest of you need to hear this. Pick your answers before player 3 does, because if player 3 gets it wrong, everyone who gets it right will split that cash. Okay, we're off. The Half Windsor. The Valedictorian. The Prince Albert. The Trinity. The Caboose. The Chairman. The Four in Hand. It appears your score likes to be on bottom. My usual sex position is also the way I usually tie a tie, alone in front of a mirror. This one's called Shop Till Everyone Drops. Say at Christmas time, every single item at your local mall sells out. According to a popular grim fairy tale, which of these stores has the best chance to be magically stocked over its crafters? Player 4, interesting choice. But clear your eyes tastefully with these flavored eye drops. All those in flavor, say aye. You'll be happy to know this wrong answer of the game comes with $4,000. Congrats. Say hello to Okia Dokia. If you're driving between company headquarters, which trip should be the shortest? IKEA to Kia, Kia to Nokia, Nokia to IKEA, or IKEA, Nokia, and Kia headquarters are exactly the same distance apart. Watch your clock. Players 1, 3, and 4. Nokia, no Kia. Player 2. Nokia is based in Finland and IKEA is based right next door in Sweden. Kia is based in South Korea. Whether it's phones, furniture, or cars, if it's got Kia in the name, you know it's gonna be cheap. I mean inexpensive. Inexpensive! That's the end. And don't forget about your screws. You wanna win, don't you? I call this one Muscle Milk was a bad choice. Say the news team from the Anchorman films decides to run a relay race against a rival news team. If Ron Burgundy is his team... Watch your time! Player 1. Ooh, ouch. Players 2 and 4. Honest mistake. Player 3. In a relay race, the anchor, usually the fastest runner, goes last. And they would probably promote the race so incessantly that by the time it actually took place, you wouldn't be that interested in seeing it anymore.
Question 7. Get up and shake your monkey bang.
Here we have... Guess who's Dak? Dak again.
For instance, which titular religious group was founded by someone with the last name of Smith? Protestants, Episcopalians, Presbyterians, or Nornites?
Not much time left. Player 3. Players 1 and 2. That was quality. Player 4. The Mormon religion was founded in the 1800s by Joseph Smith.
In America.
So, which was your favorite religion you studied?
Well, I took to...
Or 6 rescue missions? Watch the time. Players 3 and 4. Players 1 and 2. Well, I've seen worse. Watch how easy this is. There are 3 SeaWorlds, one in San Diego, one in San Antonio, and one in Orlando. So you would need to go on 3 separate rescue missions. Well, that sounds like a lot of traveling. Maybe I'll just pay that kid from Free Willy to do it. Something tells me he could use the cash. Open wide for Kangaroo, Peanuts, Albert Einstein, or Uranus.
Kangaroo, peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus.
The name of Jeff Dunham's purple-skinned puppet. Kangaroo, Peanuts, Albert Einstein, or Uranus. Player 210's running out. Player 2. Players 1, 3, and 4. His name is Peanut. I have to admit, people who talk through ventriloquist puppets kind of creep me out.
That you talk through me.
Quiet, Billy. Stop trying to get me to kill people.
Whoa, now you're creeping me out, man.
And player 2, who's gonna get that screw? Player 2? Did you really mean to choose yourself? Oh well, don't blame me. We'll try not to let that ruin the rest of the game. Player 1. Excuse me. Player 3. Player 4. According to Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's poem, Paul Revere's Ride, Paul's signal for the British was 1 if by land, 2 if by sea. And as we all know, a number 1 is a P. And Americans would have known about the British sooner if he hadn't stopped for a number 4. You don't even want to know what that is. Step right up to the jack attack. Oh, do you need to be somewhere? My mistake. Here's your clue. This plus this equals that. What new thing do these combine to make? Good luck. Gee, player one, you just barely won that game. Were you nervous? I wasn't. Know why? Because